Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Francine and this is my channel, The Hermetic Herald. I'm here for a channeled message for the collective. I wanted to focus in on the people that are watching this video that are going through their respective lessons and journey, and how amazing is it that it all connects and that we can talk about something and have collective messages where we all can connect on something that's going on in our lives. So I feel like today is a good day for me to touch base with you guys. If you're new to my channel, thank you guys so much for tuning in, for feeling drawn to my content, whether it was through Celebrity Tarot or through the collective messages I've done before. I really do want to thank you guys for being with me throughout this channel and throughout its evolution. I've grown a lot in how I channel and also how open I am to trusting myself with the messages. Because trusting yourself and not putting yourself down, not doubting yourself, not saying, it takes practice. It takes practice and time, and I really do appreciate all of the love and support that I've received on this channel. It's been very, very encouraging, very enlightening to hear about what people have heard from the messages that resonate and all the feedback. So please, if you feel the need or feel the urge to, don't be afraid to respond and to tell me what your thoughts are, and also to share how it resonates for you. I have a bit of a residual cough, but I feel like I still tune in because we're all connected, connected, and there's messages that are always coming through that don't take up too much of my energy, and I feel like it's important to share them. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you guys can hear this message through the coughs. So I have this deck I'm really, really excited to use. It is the Galactic Heritage cards. A very lovely viewer by the name of OG Quantum Storm mentioned it a while back, and I said to myself, I'm going to save up and I'm going to make sure I get that card or that deck for my channel, because I feel like the messages that are coming, or at least that I saw in reviews for the deck, I was getting like so many things clicking for me, and I was like, damn, if I can use this, I would be happy to. So I finally got it, and thank you to those of you that have gotten personal readings. Those readings have helped me get this deck, so thank you. I'm really excited for what is coming up, because I feel like a lot of people are hearing about my readings, and I really love doing it. So if you guys are interested in a personal reading, I do open up the floor to other topics. I don't like to just kind of close it off, so I might be updating it soon, but I do karmic messages on your karma, dealing with karmic connections, specifically as someone who is a life path 6 who's dealing with a lot of karmic balancing out my karma specifically for quite some time. I feel as though I have an openness to that area of talking about like your karmic soul ties or connections with people in your life that you feel like are just still there, and there's something about them. Why are they there? What can I learn from this experience? I also do readings on celebrity connections, soul connections, and I'm going to be using this deck for that. It really ties into like Galactic, our heritage, and how deep it goes, and how we are so connected in so many ways, in different star systems, different ways. And that there's people that are out there that want to help us and want to connect with us. So it's really good at getting to the nitty gritty on that. So many readings I can go on, but check them out in the description box below if you're interested. I feel like it's time to transition. So thank you guys. Thank you, Spirit Team, for being here with me today. Let's see and touch base with the overall energy for today. Okay, so we have 3 cards that came through. All right, so if you guys are feeling like you're like really hungry all of a sudden, you're not alone. There's like this thing where like it's just like extreme hunger. I don't know if it's the energy of doing so much work and spiritually that I feel like so deficient, but like the energy of like just hunger. Are you guys having a hunger lately? I feel like that's happening to more than just me. Typically when things like that happen, it's like there's a connection. We all have a connection there. So if you're feeling that way, let me know. But yeah, we have 3 cards coming through. Number 16, which is protectiveness. Number 90, which is shamanic journeying. And we have 47, Lemurian era here. So at the bottom of these cards, the first one was Lyra, present. Cetacean or cetacean whale, parallel realities, and Earth, past. So these are the like timelines for all these cards. So we're gonna read them. I'm gonna read them first, and then I'm gonna tap into what specific messages are in there for you guys. So number 16 is the first one. It says here, a strong trait of the Lyran civilization is protectiveness. They were often like lions protecting their cubs when it came to protecting their offspring and even their territory. Thus, this trait can be helpful or obsessive. Sometimes a protective nature can harm those who we are protecting because it does not allow them to ground or grow and make their own decisions. This karmic pattern of protectiveness is one that you have experienced in many lives. Sometimes you were the protector, and other times you were the one who was protected, who was not allowed to grow. By looking at this issue now, the pattern can be released. Let's keep going. So the next one is number 90, shamanic journey. Shamans teach us to navigate through our deepest unconscious in order to confront our shadows and release stagnant beliefs and habits, creating profound transformation. Whale consciousness, which is connected to Sirius, is shamanic in nature. When we work with it, we must look into the mirror and see the false self. Whales are providing the service on a large scale for Earth at this time, but in a very subtle way and mostly through dreams. You've pulled this card because you have a connection with whale consciousness, now or in the past, and it is calling to you once again. When we work with this card, or when we work with shamanic journeying, we must look into the mirror and see the false self. Confronting our shadows and releasing stagnant beliefs and habits. Okay, so I'm already getting a message. Lemurian era is the last one here. Let's get into that one. This era, spanning approximately 13,000 to 26,000 years ago, represents the feminine principle in a planetary cycle. Civilization was awakened to its spiritual self and its place in the universe. It was a time of peace, compassion, and enlightenment. Beings from other star systems openly walked the planet and assisted the development of humans. This feminine cycle of civilization is now returning, so we are seeing old ways crumbling. This is a natural cycle of planetary development. You pull this card because you have a strong connection to the Lemurian era that is affecting your life now. Let yourself explore this idea in more depth. So I'm going to go... I know that there is so much to these cards, and there's so much when you use them with different cards that are chosen, right? These 3 in particular were chosen out of 108 cards. So this is definitely for a specific group of people. Intuitively, what I'm getting from this as I was reading it was that there's a sense and there's this urgency that your spirit team is trying to share with you with regards to your perception of your journey, the stagnancy, the feeling that there's like a sense of feminine energy being expressed in a certain way, and that way of expressing it is coddling. The energy of we need to take you out of a situation, or we need to control the situation as much as possible in order to protect said child or said idea, said experiment, or whatever it is that you hold really, really valuable to you right now. Your spirit team is trying to warn you of the way in which you protect yourself and protect certain beliefs that are meant to crumble. There are certain belief systems that you've coddled as a child, as you would a child, and are protecting because it's a mechanism in which you are comfortable with. This is something specific to the people that are going to see this message. And I want you guys to look into what you got out of the cards and the message, because I'm just going into specifics now, or general ideas that you are going to pick up on in your own life. So there's this energy of wanting to confront your spirit team and yourself, your higher self, wanting you to confront the protectiveness, the layers of saran wrap that you wrap around certain things that are meant to fall away, that are no longer meant for you to hold on to. They are not you. Those things are not you. Some of the things that we carry with us along with us are used as defense mechanisms in order for us to adjust to the world around us, in order for us to not crumble at the feet of something. Like, for instance, if someone tried to tell you about your self-worth and tried to put you down daily, there may be an expectation that you have of other people doing the same thing. And in turn, you may have a wall up where when someone begins to start to say something that's unsavory about your appearance, about your intelligence, about anything, you may come up with a solution by insulting that person, or by throwing certain things at that person, because you are creating that wall, or you are used to using a wall in order to protect yourself, when in reality your mind is something that no one can truly take over or control without your consent. And it's something, there's something here about like just the strength of your inner being, and of knowing that you can journey through the difficulties, through the shadows, and you can retrieve aspects that you have, without realizing it, given to someone else or put in the hands of another person, because you truly believed what they said about you, your situation, about your strength, about your innate nature, who you are on the inside. There's something about the feminine energy coming to the forefront in collectively, and there's this mothering energy, this nurturing energy that is coming over, where we are now addressing like how we mother ourselves and how we nurture ourselves, and that involves shaving away or addressing in depth the things that we protect that are not meant for us in this next stage. They were helpful to us in that time frame that they were used as a defense mechanism to protect us, but now they're being whittled away, and now it's not all about that thing that you used to trust. Do you trust you? Do you trust you with you? Do you trust you? And it's looking at like your shadow or the negativity that's inside of you, and not ignoring it and shelving it and saying, I don't want to talk about it right now. There's some things that are going to be coming out to you, and you guys are going to be seeing it in more detail as time goes on, and very soon, if you're not already. There's going to be things that are going to point to that thing in which you've coddled or protected, and you're going to have to address the issue at hand. So this is a heads up for the people that are watching this video. Bottom of the deck here is being the mentors, seeing the one, and dedicate or devotion to service. Your life, your journey in this life is meant to be a source of devotion. What you're seeing in this life, in this time frame, is something that you've been working on in the grand scheme of things for quite some time. This is not a quick journey for a lot of you. I'm feeling like a lot of you guys are galactic in nature, in the sense of having experiences outside of Earth, outside of this realm, in other lives, if it's been in this realm for quite some time. So I'm talking to older souls here. So you're going to resonate with this if you feel as though you've been going through a lot of whittling away at those core beliefs, core negative or core beliefs, and not looking at them as innately negative, but seeing them for what they did and how they helped you, assisted you in the past, and now they are no longer necessary. So you're your own mentor in this. You're seeing yourself as the one of many. Like, collectively we are all connected. And I thought it was really interesting in this book how they mentioned scripture. They mentioned Matthew 6, but it was taking a methodology or understanding of the world that has a very universal meaning to it, which was about the eye. And when its eyes are opened, I want to like touch on that actually, because I feel like it's really important to say it correctly. It says here in Matthew 6:22, if therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And this is the King James Version. So looking at how everyone is connected and we're all seeing together, how we're all seeing collectively, and that there is a collective consciousness, that one eye is full of light because light shines directly through it. There's nothing muddling it. There's nothing that's kind of confusing it and conflicting it when it's just one. And I feel like when we look at ourselves, we tend to think very independently of each other, and we think that we're not connected. And I feel like your experiences and my own are reflecting something bigger that we need to talk about here. So Six of Pentacles is here. Six of Pentacles is about balancing out your karma. Number 6 is very significant here. It's tit for tat for some people. They see that giving and receiving. It could be as simple as giving and receiving. And I'm hearing to your fellow man how you give and receive to people. Like looking at how people have poured into your life and how you pour into their lives. And there being this balancing effect as you're journeying and as you're looking at the parts of you that are yet to, I'm hearing have yet to unfold. It's 5 of Wands energy. If there's some kind of balancing act that you're trying to portray or trying to play, and you're finding that it's being pushed against, like you're feeling like you're trying to find balance in your finances, you're trying to find balance in your mental space, but then you feel like there's always this opposing force that's always pushing and pulling, it's it's highlighting something about your mechanisms that you use to balance yourself out. It's really talking about some building that's being done. Sometimes the foundation is going to crumble, or the foundation is going to give, and you have to find other resources in order to hold it up. So there's something about like shifting your perception of the difficulties. It's not meant to be easy. We have the 9 of Cups. And it's also about being pleased with what you see in the mirror, being pleased with what you see so far in your journey, being pleased with how the sharpening effect, like how you're being sharpened and how you're being wrought is what I'm hearing is very important. You know, the process of it. You're not supposed to have arrived at perfection or arrived at a solution. You're always constantly developing your mentality about the world around you, the way in which you see traumas and triggers, like how you address them, each one of them, how you interact with the people around you, and how you can see beyond some certain things you used to think about and only focus on, like about personality, about just like the person at hand, like, and how you interact with them. And if you don't like them, they're nothing, they're not shit or anything like that. You're seeing more of how we all are integrating our experiences and how we can disagree with each other, but there's something about not seeing the conflict or seeing like the difficulties and the imbalances as innately wrong, but seeing something about it and being okay with it in the moment, being okay with your moment right now. That is the hardest thing I can say for me as well, is to experience life and to be happy and contented with where I am at in this moment in time. Being present and not pining for something else beyond myself. It says leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. There's a need for someone to take a leap here and to release some soul contracts, patterns, and past lives that they have. You may have, specifically for the people that are watching this, history with Lyra, with Lemuria, which is here, or Atlantis. So like a past life, I would look into those 3 places, Lyra, Lyra. And then with the parallel universe for shamanic journeying, they're talking about specific whale, but there is like a whole lore about it that goes further than that. Atlantis is what I was thinking of, and Lemuria. So I didn't spell those two because I feel like I'm kind of like belaboring it. So if you guys are interested in those three, I'd look into that. Or pause the cards and you'll see it. So that's what I feel like Spirit's talking about here. Unwounding or unwinding, taking all of the intricately tied pieces of your traumas and letting yourself kind of open it up little by little, kind of like a mandarin, or like picking apart the pieces of the external aspect of your experience here, and all of the like ways you've tried to defend that thing. Let it go. There's something about letting that go and journeying into the midst of it. You're protecting, someone here is protecting the wrong thing. You're protecting your traumas instead of protecting yourself as you go in there. You're not like taking, it's something about like kind of getting accustomed to the trauma and kind of coddling it and kind of placating it and never getting to the source of it. And that is something we all must do. Like, I just feel that energy coming through this reading. Is there anything you'd like to talk about healing, Spirit? Wow, okay. First one, past, present, future, consolidating your past, present, your future. I feel like we think as humans linearly. We think about time as going straight forward, and there's the past behind us, there's the future there, and there's the present moment. But there's so much more happening parallel to us in our universe. And I feel like there's like experiences like in your dream state for some of you that's been happening, where you're going through certain experiences in your dream state. You're getting information. I'm hearing recollecting or having recollections of things of the past, but things that are happening now and things that are happening in another timeline for you. You guys are healing constantly, and there's someone that needs to like really grasp at continuing to open up and to take those layers and to break it down. It can be brought down even further than it already has. And it's not to something to stress or strain yourself about. It's something that you're meant to impart to yourself. It's your gift. It's something that is a gift when you can get to the root and to the really like the nitty gritty of it. So they're just talking about creation, about your spirituality, about your feminine energy being pursued, being admired, being like elevated. Because out of that feminine energy that we consider to be feminine energy, there is a lot of insight and spiritual like knowledge. There's expansion, and there's something that you're meant to expand on. You may understand it to some degree, but there's a depth to it that keeps going. It keeps going, and the protectiveness is not necessary anymore. That's not something you have to carry with you anymore. You're your own mentor. Your higher self is guiding you through this. So you guys are good. Just keep going in further and further. We also have the reunion of souls. You're going to have a number of people that are going to come across your path, like soulmates, people that are going to come into your life that are going to connect you, bring something to you that reminds you of that connection, reminds you of this karma or whatever it is that's attached to you or addressed in this life that you're going to be seeing more often. Physical or psychic development is also here. We have numbers 4, 7, and 5. Yeah, it adds up to 16, this protectiveness. 16 is also indicative of the tower, I believe. Yeah, so it's like this is a tower moment for someone here. Your psychic development is going to ramp up. The people you're being in contact with or you're going to meet, I feel like a lot of you have already met them. They're ramping your psychic development up, and you can't ignore these things anymore. You're consolidating lifetimes, you're consolidating experiences, and you're consolidating all of what you've learned. It's like you are the student. So you're taking that final exam, and it's like there's going to be other exams, don't worry. But there's something about getting into the nitty-gritty of something you've kind of protected some subject matter that's needed to be broken open. And look at that, we have 16. We have 16, 16 again, and all of them add up to 16 as well. So these 3 cards. And what's interesting is masculine energy is being addressed. Taking a leap. I'm hearing a forward leap into the abyss, like addressing some things that are deeper than just what you might have expected. Bottom of the deck is anger, 28. There may be some anger that needs to be unfolded. Polarity of being okay with your anger, being okay with the darkness, being okay with the negativity that you find within yourself, and not denying it, not excluding it, not hiding it away so that it can grow and fester, but letting it open and letting it breathe. There's something about like having a space for that. And that's not to say to attack people, to hurt people, to do things like that. It's about understanding the depths of where it comes from and why it's there, rather than acting out on it, because acting out is the extension of it. You're trying to get to the depths of why it's there. Okay, so I feel like I should end there. That is what I'll leave you guys with, and I hope this helps you on your path. Please like, share, and subscribe if it helped you in any way or reminded you of something on your path, and I hope to see you guys soon. Join if you'd like to become a member for $4.99 or more. It's all about what you would like to bring to this energy exchange. That is the lowest, but I have some exclusive content coming out for you guys, so look out for that, and I'll see you